So if you went and you started a company that is doing excellently well, it's a multi-million-dollar business, and he didn't use a point of what he had. He went to the bank, he borrowed money, he started a business, and that business is now a multi-million-dollar business. But there's something that is very, very important about what we do. If you notice in the American stock market, if you want to make money overnight, go and meet Warren Buffett. Tell him to buy 10% of your shares. The Warren Buffett walks into this place and says, IBC, the business center, is a company. I want to buy 10%. All the big money makers in America will rush to go and buy shares of IBC. Because they believe that he sees something in business that other people don't see. Now that is a niche. Is there an entrepreneur? How many of us is an entrepreneur? So we all think that he's not a businessman. We think he's an entrepreneur. I agree with him. As a matter of fact, he's one of the greatest. Why? Because he's not limited to any particular sector. I'm sure if we take Bill Gates from the technological sector, we take him to manufacturing, maybe diamonds or metal, he might not have a clue what he's doing. Or you take Carlos from that and take him to Google and tell him to go and run Google for some time, he might run it around. Because his expertise, but Warren Buffett has gone to a level where he has, well, I would say expertise like that, but he has sizable wealth of knowledge in every business around. And that has helped him to invest in any form of business. Now, take note, it's not until you start a company from scratch that you can run a business or own a business. You can buy off a business. There's some, when you start a business, there's this kind of people they call promoters. They're not good at owning businesses, no. But they're good at taking businesses from scratch and turning it into something good and booming. And once the business gets to the top level, you have to get rid of them. Because they don't know how to sustain an existing business. They call them promoters. When you want to start a business, you have those ideas that will get your business running. But as soon as the business starts running, you need somebody that can stabilize things. So now, along this scale, for some of us are, okay, let me give you a little background into myself. I'm not a business owner per se, I'm an employee. And I made myself a very, very valuable person. I worked with another financial institution before now, and one day in a meeting, my boss told me that I was going to deal with you so much that there's nothing I can do about it. And I should tell myself, I should go out there, there's millions of people like me that are begging for a job. The following week I resigned, and I got another job. It must be out of his mind to think that because if there are no jobs out there, I won't find one. My job is sales. And if you're good at what you're doing, you can actually sell ice to an Eskimo. After the whole, I think I applied to Unity Bank then. And I did the test, I did the interview. At the final stage, they said I needed NYC certificate, which I don't have yet. I was still serving. They're like, oh, sorry, but we'll keep you in view. After service, you can come back. We'll reconsider you. So I went there, I think you'll be next. I did the test, I did the interview. And I've always been lucky. Once I set my mind to a job, I always get to the final stage. I think I end up disqualifying myself. So after the UB experience, I asked my question, I told myself that I wasn't doing that anymore. I went till I'm done with service. And being a fervent Christian, after service, I dropped my CV. And I told God, I said, look, I made little money from service. This little money, I cannot be spending there. The internet was not like this, where you guys all have it on your devices. Then the phones were not there. I said, big them, Samsung R220, you want me to do this. You just have to do like that one. So if you want to browse, you need to go to a cyber cafe, buy airtime, sit down and then browse, and the network is crap. So I told myself I'm going to buy airtime twice. The first one, I'd written down a list of companies and I prayed about them. And I went online and I applied to all of them because the Bible says scatter your bread upon the waters. And after a few days, I prayed about it. So I said, God, I'm not ready to be traveling around for test and interview or anything. It's the one that will employ me that should call me for any test. Like 3 weeks later, I was invited for a test. First batch, then I went for the test. It was the worst test I've ever written in my life. I had no clue what I was thinking. I don't know if you've ever written tests like that or something like that. There was a question, I can't forget that question. They said, if the day before the day that is 2 days after the day that is 4 days after the day before the next is Tuesday, what is that day? And I was like, what? I mean, why would you do that to me? I had very simple question. I had 1 minute for the question, and I was like, if it's Tuesday, that day must be Monday. I'm not still telling you. And after the test, my cousin wrote the test, a very good friend of mine also wrote the test. And on our way back home, they're like, sorry to use Yoruba for those of you that don't know how to speak Yoruba very well. And my cousin would tell my friend, and that number so, which answer did you choose? And I would say, see, answer now. And I was like, yes, and I would shake hands, and I would remember that maybe I did A or B or something. So I was scratching my head on this side. And you know, they were exchanging answers and they were celebrating. I was like, what happened to me? And they don't people. So when I got home, I closed my mind. 2 weeks later, a friend of mine that we finished for OAU together called me and was like, because we met at the test center, he said, yeah, how far? First one has called me for interview. I said, really? So I ran to the cyber cafe. The second airtime I bought was to be checking. So I was managing that one 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I was 1 hour, 2 hours managing. I went and I logged on and I checked my profile. I said, thank you for taking interest in the first time. We can no longer process your application beyond this stage. We wish you all the best. So I had my head down and I left the cafe and I strolled home. When I got home, I looked at the house. I stood outside and I saw my father on the balcony and I was like, old man, is there lights? And the man was like, if there's lights, why would I be on the balcony? I was like, okay, I'm going to my friend's house. And I was just going to turn a bike. My phone went beep beep, and I brought out my phone and I saw a text message from my first man. You have been shortlisted for an interview. And I was like, really? I just checked the distance and they said they can't process. So I went back to the cafe. By the time I logged on this time, they said you are invited for interview, so there's one more, so the interest interview. So I called my cousin. How far? So. He said nothing, no. Then I called my friend, how far? He said nothing, no. At that point, you don't want to be the dead of bad news. If I stop calling people. I went for the interview. When I got to the interview, oh boy, they said 2 stages. They divided us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Group 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Group 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Group 3. They divided us into groups of 6, 6. And they said, look, the best you can have for each group is that we employ 2 people. So look at everybody in your group. That is the only person you have to fight against. And we're looking at each other as a who are we meeting? You know, I started thinking about ideas. Can I tell you guys to go and use yourself and talk to me in the toilet? They're coming up with ideas. So they said the first stage of the interview that we're going to discuss amongst ourselves. We are not going to interfere with you. You guys will sit down in the round table and discuss amongst yourselves. Then they're going to note your discussions and so something happened with that. You guys should work like a team rather than work against each other. So I called all the guys in my team today. I said, yeah, the most important thing is that whoever they're going to employ, let's put it in God's hands. But let's work